The topic today for your MPhil Net demo class is schizophrenia. So first we'll begin with the class after a couple of minutes, and then you can put in your questions regarding the organization, regarding the coaching. So my name is Trisha and I am a clinical psychologist. Okay. I passed out from CIP 2015-17 Central Institute of Psychiatry, and I'm also pursuing my PhD, and also I'm privately practicing as well as I'm associated with the UIPS since 3 years now. Okay. So I'll be just I'll give you a run through of how classes happen, okay, how we teach here, and then you can pour in your questions regarding the topic then and there. Otherwise, whatever regarding the administration, regarding the coaching and all that, we can discuss post the topic is done. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so we all are familiar with this term, schizophrenia. So your unit 9 in the NET syllabus, any one of you has the syllabus with you right now or has gone through the syllabus and they know what it is regarding, what am I talking about? So your MPhils and NET, both the syllabus, both the entrances have a huge chunk of psychopathology. You can name it clinical psychology, you can name it abnormal psychology. Okay, it's all the same thing. So they have a huge chunk from this subunit of psychology or this subject of psychology. Okay, so first and foremost thing is you guys need to be thorough with the NET syllabus, people who are targeting NET. Otherwise, people who are targeting MPhil, NET both, or just MPhil, you guys should also go through the syllabus once to make a framework. Okay, because we do not have any syllabus for MPhil exam, any prescribed, any given syllabus or anything which we refer to while we prepare. There is nothing like that. Okay, what we usually do is we take a framework from the NET syllabus, okay, and then we incorporate all our own understanding. We have other clinical psychologists in the team. We are in touch with other people, okay, so we get information from them. Our students are appearing every now and then, so everything we collaborate, okay, and then that is how we prepare you guys. But for your own, like for your own sake, for your own thing to begin, you should have a framework from the NET syllabus to know what topics are required. Okay, so have you guys done that, at least gone through the syllabus? You can say no if you haven't, that's okay.
No.
Okay, so first thing you can note down, you need to do that is download the syllabus from the UGC's website. Okay, or it is also available on the UIBS website, and then you can have a look at it. Okay, just have a look at it, just get familiar with the topics. Okay, some of the topics you might have very well read during your masters and bachelors. Some of the topics might be very like you never have read them. ऐसा भी हो सकता है, ठीक है? So whatever is the case, number one, you need to do that. Okay, so because clinical psychology is both important from the perspective of NET and yes, from the perspective of MPhil as well. So don't just think this is something to just for the core clinical people. This is equally important to both the set of students preparing. Okay, there is a trend and there has been a changing trend in the NET syllabus, NET exams also, where they ask you details about everything from psychopathology. Okay, so when we talk about schizophrenia, we'll first begin with the history of schizophrenia. So we'll discuss the history in a chronological manner. Okay, so you might put like write the heading schizophrenia and then write down chronological order of the historical background. I'm using the chat box, you can follow that as well. Chronological order of the historical background. Okay, so number one, like when we talk about the chronological order, okay, how things evolved, the evolution of terms, the evolution of the scientific understanding, the evolution of symptoms, okay, the evolution of symptoms into syndromes, okay, how things came and how, what classification right now we have, which is very concrete, okay, it is not abstract and not very loose as things used to be earlier. So this started from Emil Kraepelin in 1896, okay. It started from Emil Kraepelin in 1896. You guys can see the screen. So please note down. Okay. Now Emil Kraepelin, now before we begin discussing what's there in this slide, also note down one more thing. Kraepelin translated Benedict Morrell's book, okay, Benedict Morrell's term into dementia praecox. Okay. So when we read through the slide, it says that Kraepelin differentiated major psychiatric illnesses into dementia praecox and manic depressive illnesses. So this dementia praecox, the term comes after Kraepelin translated Morrell's demens praecox, or howsoever you pronounce it, that doesn't matter, okay? What is important here is Kraepelin translated Morrell's term. Okay, Kraepelin translated Morrell's term. Okay, now dementia here means, okay, dementia here means since we know he translated this, okay, so how did he get into this? How did this term come across? Okay, it means distinct cognitive processes, okay, and praecox means early onset of the disorder. Now, one very common notion associated with schizophrenia is it is a young onset disorder. It usually strikes an individual in the 20s. So the first episode has to happen and usually strikes the individual during their 20s. So that is why it is the term praecox is attached here. It is known as a young onset or early onset disorder. So Kraepelin differentiated major psychiatric illnesses into dementia praecox and manic depressive illnesses. Now, dementia praecox refers typically to psychosis, okay, to the core psychotic part where, you know, schizophrenia, delusional disorder, all those things could come. And here, manic depressive illnesses refers to what we now know as mood disorders, okay. Now, this illness develops relatively early in life. We're talking about schizophrenia, okay? That is dementia praecox. Until now, we don't have the term schizophrenia. So, dementia praecox develops relatively early in life and its course is likely deteriorating and chronic in nature. Okay. but was not followed by any organic changes of the brain detectable at that time. So during those time, of course, technology wasn't developed, but whatsoever they had with them, they could not see any organic changes in the structure of the brain. Okay, so they couldn't identify any associated organic changes in the structure of the brain. Okay, so after Morel, whose work Kraepelin has translated, we got Eugen Bleuler. Okay, now Bleuler 1911. So while renaming dementia precox as schizophrenia, so he now further narrowed it into schizophrenia, which meant mental splitting. Okay, now he said that, this doesn't mean that schizophrenia or dementia precox, as known earlier, always has a poor prognosis. Okay, this doesn't mean that people going through dementia precox, which was now labeled as schizophrenia, always has a poor prognosis. Are we familiar with the meaning of this term prognosis? Write it down separately, okay? Not where you're writing about schizophrenia, just write it down separately. Prognosis means course and outcome of a disorder. So schizophrenia or then dementia precox from the time of Morel and Kraepelin was thought to have a poor prognosis. Now that we are reading about Bleuler in 1911, so he was the one, he said that, number one, he renamed dementia precox as schizophrenia, referring to mental splitting within the same individual, okay? And after renaming it to schizophrenia, he also made another contribution. He said that schizophrenia not necessarily has a poor prognosis. Is this much clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
He also recognized that schizophrenia consisted of a group of disorders, therefore, he used the term a group of schizophrenias. Okay. So now Bleuler also gave four important things, okay, which fall under the spectrum of your MCQs also and for your interview questions also. Okay. So this is Bleuler's fundamental symptoms of schizophrenia, also known as the 4 A's of schizophrenia, or 4 A's of Bleuler. Okay. Number one, it says ambivalence. Ambivalence is a very gross confusional state in the individual where they cannot decide whether they have to go for an activity or against that activity. Okay, so decision making or going for that activity or not going or going against that activity or the decision or the stance becomes very difficult. So ambivalence is a gross confusional state. Number two is autism. Now the autism here and in general also, otherwise it means withdrawn into the self. So they are cut off from this world outside, okay? Probably they're not able to take too much of the stimulus, or they're not able to process, or because of the ambivalence we just read, okay? What they do is they get withdrawn into their own selves, okay? Which is known as autism. Affect disturbances. So disturbances of affect could range from display of the affect. Okay. So we saw that they have a very confusional state. Okay. Gross confusional state. They're withdrawn to themselves. They do not, the cognitive processes are compromised. Thus, they don't know how to express, cognitively process the whole thing. Okay. And that is why they have, major disturbances of affect. Affect here means mood. Okay. And sometimes the affect is also found to be inappropriate in nature. Then comes association disturbances, loosening of associations. Okay, now this loosening of associations here also refers to formal thought disorder, which is an entirely separate disorder. Okay, but some traces of it, some things of it could be seen in schizophrenia also. That is why loosening of association is an important factor. Now, loosening of association is interpreted through the client's or the patient's speech. Write it down. How do you know there's loosening of association or there is a thought disorder going on? Through the individual's speech. Okay. They might lose the track and they might just speak of something which is slightly related to the topic. Okay, they might just go round and round the topic. They might just touch the topic and deviate. They might just totally shy away from talking about that typical topic. Or there could be connections by mere chance, whatever they are saying. Okay, so multiple other things. Okay, later on when you do mental status examination, that of course covers this whole thing. This refers to association disturbance. So basically, what the content of speech has no association. It makes no sense to the one listening. Okay. Okay. Is this thing clear? The 4 symptoms, fundamental symptoms mentioned by Bleuler. Just go through it, go through what you have written down, and then let me know. Is this much clear, guys? Any further explanation on this typical slide? What you have written down, does that make sense to you?
मैम मैम जो एमिल क्रेपलिन ने ये 2 डिसऑर्डर्स पे फोकस किया था विच इज डिमेंशिया प्रीकॉक्स एंड मैनिक डिप्रेसिव इलनेस, मैम एक बार आप थोड़ा ब्रीफ कर दोगे कि अकॉर्डिंग टू हिम उसके मतलब इन दोनों डिसऑर्डर्स में उसने क्या डिफरेंशिएट किया था एग्जैक्टली एंड व्हाट इट मेंट टू हिम.
Okay, so when he said manic depressive illness and this other thing, dementia precox had an early onset, okay, and poor prognosis. So this was something which occurred quite early in individual's life, and it had a deteriorating course and prognosis. Like this, basically for that time there was no U-turn when one had this kind of an episode. On the other hand, severity level pe manic depressive was milder. It had good prognosis. Okay. Typically because the amount of ambivalence and the amount of loosening of associations and all, वो चीजें कम होते थे mood disorders में. ठीक है. So that was one major difference which was highlighted that time. Course and prognosis में difference होता था, which was rightly noticed also that time, which is still there, Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
ठीक है. अभी तक we still go by that notion, and we have also case studies and longitudinal studies which say that yes, schizophrenia has a deteriorating outcome as compared to mood disorders. Okay, so association disturbances, affect disturbances, autism and ambivalence. Bleuler also added number 5, which is usually not mentioned in the textbooks, okay, which is the accessory accessory symptom or the secondary symptom? Accessory symptom or the secondary symptom. Now this it's single A, it's not double A, okay? It's single A, accessory symptom or the secondary symptom. Follow the chat box. Now these included the major indicators of dementia precox. Schizophrenia, Bleuler-Nerin क्या यहाँ पे, ठीक है? इसके पहले we were going with dementia precox. So this included the necessary symptom of dementia precox as pointed by Kraepelin, which were hallucinations and delusions. Which were hallucinations and delusions. This is not included in the list, okay? And this probably could, not be asked when the 4 fundamental symptoms are asked as pointed by Bleuler. However, if interviews which happen to be like that, sometimes discussion goes forward and all, then you can definitely mention. But otherwise, in the first place, you do not have to go forward and mention this accessory symptom. Okay, these 4 you can every time mention. Okay. So what 3 people have we discussed until now? Any one of you would name them for me in the typical order we discussed? Quick, any one of you? We've discussed 3 important people here and their contribution. Just type it out if you don't want to switch on your mic and answer that. We discussed 3 people here, okay? So number 1, we discussed Morel, okay? After that, Kraepelin, yeah. You could correct the spelling. It's Kraepelin, okay? Then we discussed Bleuler. So because we're going to discuss 2-3 more people, guys, so you will have to keep a track of it. You are not answering means either you did not understand or you did not keep a track of it. You want me to give you a recap of it or you did not note it down? What happened? Yeah, let me know because I'm going to give you more information, okay? So that would be like extra flooding if you don't understand what's going on in the background. We discussed Morel. We discussed. Yeah, somebody was trying to switch on their mic.
Ma'am, actually, I just joined like 5 minutes before, so hence I'm not able to answer.
Yeah,
But
okay,
I'll keep a track now.
Yeah, never mind, Simran. Rest of you, anyone just switch on your mic or just type out the 3 people in order. Because I'm going to add on, as I said. You'll have to, it is an online class, but you'll have to communicate for the better understanding, right? It cannot be a one-way communication. So it's Morel, Kraepelin, Bleuler, correct? Yeah, correct. So Morel, Kraepelin and Bleuler. Okay? Now we also have Bleuler's son. Okay, number 1 Bleuler was Eugen Bleuler. This is the one we're discussing right now is Manfred Bleuler. Okay. So Eugen Bleuler is done. We are going to discuss Manfred Bleuler. Okay. Now, Manfred Bleuler, he stressed on the essential psychotic nature of schizophrenia. Yeah, good. So all of you are all correct. Okay. Yeah, just make sure you guys know the correct spellings. Okay. Morel is Morel, Kreplin is Kraeplin, and Bleuler is Blueler. So he stressed on the, now we're going to talk about Manfred Bleuler. I've just typed the spelling on the chat box, follow that. So he stressed on the essential psychotic nature of schizophrenia. He stressed on the essential psychotic nature of schizophrenia. Essential psychotic nature of schizophrenia. Okay, so he said that the major element here is the major element in the schizophrenic client is the inability to differentiate between inner and outer realities. Okay, so from Morel, Kreplin, Eugen Bleuler, now Manfred Bleuler, he said that the major problem here is the client's inability to differentiate between inner and outer realities. Okay, inability to differentiate between, follow the chat box, inability to differentiate between inner and outer realities. Okay, let me know when you've written that down. We move to Kurt Snyder. Okay, is that much clear, guys? We now know what Manfred Bleuler said. He said that individuals going through schizophrenia, they cannot understand what is their inner subjective reality and outside objective reality. They cannot differentiate between that thing. That is why it is very ambivalent, loosening of association, सब कुछ इसी वजह से होता है. ठीक है? Now, okay, thank you guys. Now we go to Kurt Snyder. You can see the name on the screen. मेरा screen दिख रहा है सबको?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
जी मैम.
Okay. Now, when we talk about Kurt Snyder, okay, he describes symptoms which help in making the clinical diagnosis of schizophrenia. His symptoms are known as the Snyder's first rank symptoms, or FRS, the first rank symptoms of schizophrenia. Now for Snyder, please write down the year. Kurt Snyder, 1959. Make sure you have a thorough follow-up of the year also. साथ में, ठीक है? Like Kreplin, you wrote 1896. Bleuler, you wrote 1911. After that, here, Kurt Snyder, 1959. Kurt Snyder, 1959. Now, after this, here we have a list of the first rank symptoms of schizophrenia. Okay, the 11 symptoms which are known as the first rank FRS, first rank symptoms of schizophrenia. A very important question from both your MCQ or in interview purpose. Okay, so number one, just write them down in order and leave thoda sa gap. Okay, some keywords you will be writing, so leave thoda sa gap when you copy these down. Number one is audible thoughts. Okay, audible thoughts are also known as thought echo. Audible thoughts are also known as thought echo. Audible thoughts are also known as thought echo. It means voices speaking out the thoughts loudly. So one can hear one's thought. Okay. So voices speaking out the thoughts loudly. Voices speaking out the thoughts loudly. Then number two is voices heard arguing. Number two is voices heard arguing. So voices heard arguing refers here definitely to hallucinatory voices. Okay. So it means two or more hallucinatory voices discussing the subject in third person. Okay. Voices heard arguing. It means two or more hallucinatory voices discussing the subject in third person. Two or more hallucinatory voices discussing the subject in third person. Then comes voices commenting on one's action. So again, hallucinatory voices commenting on one's action. So audible thoughts, voices heard arguing, voices commenting on one's action. Then comes number 4. It means thought withdrawal. Then comes number 4. It means thought withdrawal. So thought withdrawal means that the subject might cease to speak, okay, and then when they're asked that why did they stop speaking suddenly, okay, they might say that their thoughts were being withdrawn by an external force. So they suddenly lose their thoughts, or somebody takes away their thoughts, and they also mention that there is an external entity. Okay? So they will mention that the thoughts have been removed by an external force. Then comes thought insertion. Now in thought insertion, the individual says that thoughts have been imposed on my passive mind through an external force. ये मेरे ख्याल नहीं है, ये किसी और के हैं, ठीक है? And if you ask them how did you happen to take on someone else's thoughts, so they'll say ये मेरे दिमाग में डाले गए हैं किसी तरह. Okay? So likewise, thought withdrawal में भी यही था, मेरे दिमाग से ख्याल चुरा लिए गए हैं. Somebody has removed them by some or the other means. Thoughts have been inserted inside their minds through some or the other means. Then comes thought diffusion and broadcasting. Okay. So thoughts no more are personal. Okay. In nature, thoughts become public as they are being broadcasted all throughout. So there is thoughts, are not confined to the individual, to the self. They are no more a private entity. They become a public entity for that individual. And isme bhi there is a mechanism involved. They will tell you that something has been clipped on my head, something has been there on my body, through which all my thoughts get broadcasted. So everything, thought insertion, thought broadcasting, thought withdrawal, they will mention an external entity or a mechanism through which these three is being done. Okay? A mechanism through which these three is being done. Then number 7 is made feelings. Okay, now made feelings or affect, it refers to the way an individual is feeling and going through. Okay, and they'll say that these are not their own and original feelings. They'll say that these are not my own original feelings. Okay, these are someone else's, or they have been, somehow given it to me. Then comes made impulses, the same thing. These are not my own impulses. Then comes made volition or act. Made acts. In this, the individual feels like a passive body and somebody is making them do certain acts. Okay. Made feelings, maybe they're feeling that these are somebody else, किसी और का feeling है, these are not my own feelings, I'm being made to move about, act like that, and they think themselves to be passive recipients of such made feelings, made impulses, and made acts. Then somatic passivity. There are certain bodily sensations, okay, certain sensory symptoms. So they feel that they are experienced as being imposed on the body by some external force. Again, they have no control over their bodily sensations. Seems like it has been imposed on them. Then comes delusional perception. Delusional perception, it refers that there's a normal thing going on, okay? Write down a normal perception. A normal perception has a private and illogical meaning. normal perception has a private and illogical meaning. Matlab, a normal event, a neutral event is going on, and the client happens to interpret it personally and illogically. And the client interprets the event personally and illogically. So suppose in the morning the municipality is cleaning the streets, and the client says that because I'm going to take the walk, the streets are being cleaned because of me, since I am the queen. तो अब सड़क साफ हो रही है क्योंकि मैं walk लेने जाऊंगी. I'm going to take a walk. Okay, so normal neutral events are perceived as private and illogical. So, like all of you who are online have been following the class, please go through these 11 first rank symptoms, what you have written side by side uske साथ में, then let me know. ठीक है? I'm giving you time, go through your own notes as well abhi, okay? Abhi, and right now get it cleared, okay? समझ आया? प्लीज आप उसको पढ़ें एक बार अभी जो लिखा है, साथ में अपने कीवर्ड्स भी जो अपने नोट किए हैं अभी एक्सप्लेनेशन के दौरान, और अभी मुझे पूछें जो भी डाउट्स हैं. Okay, is it fine, guys? Are you following?
Ma'am, can you please again explain the eighth one, made impulses?
Okay. Now, impulses again are what? Quick reactions or quick actions, right? So acts and impulses are more or less same, okay? Impulses are very quick and very, brief response to something, okay? So same for 7, 8 and 9. Whatever you feel, whatever the impulses are going on, whatever actions and movements we make are all under the control of somebody else. These are not the real ones in nature. These are not real in nature. As in these, I do not own the impulses. I'm being made to quickly react like that. I'm being made to quickly act like that. Okay? So somebody else is controlling. So more or less these clients report having a very passive control over their body, or rather no control over their body, their mind and their movements.
Can you explain the third symptom?
Voices. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3 are same. Okay, they all refer to the category of hallucinations. Audible thoughts mein I will hear my own voice being spoken loudly. Voices heard arguing mein two other people will be commenting and talking about, talking or arguing. Voices commenting on one actions will be hallucinatory voices commenting on the way I am doing. Okay, so like as in the client reports of 2 or 3 people जो मेरे बारे में बात करते रहते हैं, देखो वो खाना खा रहा है, देखो कैसे खा रहा है, वहां जा रहा है, why is he going to sleep now, things like that. So hallucinatory voices commenting on the individual's action.
Ma'am, are these hallucinatory voices are of their own or somebody else's? Like in general, also sometimes we start thinking in second
So
person.
that is fine. It all refers to the intensity and frequency भी matter करता है ना. So if all the time you refer yourself as the second person, and then you form characters out of there, like there are 2 or 3 people who are talking about you, that becomes a complete hallucinatory set. Okay, once or twice you might refer yourself as the second person, okay, and you might talk about like that. Yes, so fine, that is fine. You know when you are doing that, you're consciously aware of it. Here they are not consciously aware, they have zero insight that is happening. You understand the difference when those things are happening on a normal level?
Yes,
You
ma'am.
might refer, I might refer to myself and say this is not I might refer and say Trisha is a clinical psychologist. I might do that once in a while, and I'm totally aware of it, that I referred to myself like that. But these are set of voices which have different tones and different vocabulary, and they are talking about this individual. So this is something not which happens usually. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. Anybody else has any doubt regarding any of these 11 symptoms we just discussed? Seems fine for everyone? So when we say voices, we say hallucinatory voices commenting on one's action. Okay, so supposedly there are 2 or 3 voices. So this person is regularly, under these voices which keep on commenting on its actions. So there are 2 or 3 people. It is like 2 or 3 people discussing about you. Okay, and these voices do not exist. Okay, these people actually do not exist. It is just the subjective reality, not the objective reality. Hallucinations kya hai? They do not exist actually. Okay, so just imagine voices commenting on one's action, and these are not the objective reality. These voices are subjective reality of the individual. Is it okay now, Riti Mukta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then Insha Khan, she says, ma'am, somatic passivity. So somatic passivity is, there are certain sensations, they say, body mein you sometimes you feel itching, sometimes you would feel sensations down your feet, okay, something like that. Sometimes you might feel cold and all. So these all are not your own body sensations. These sensations are imposed by someone else. So the client will tell you, when you do the mental status examination, the client will tell you कि हमें ऐसा लगता है कोई ये हमारा नहीं है, ये कोई करता है, कोई करवाता है, कोई फील करवाता है, ठीक है? So they will tell you like that. And one thing is very clear, these are forced on by somebody. These are done by some external force. वो mention करेंगे इस चीज को, ठीक है? You also have to learn the art of doing mental status examination, but they will also mention that. Okay. Yeah. Rest of you, like, also go through. We can clear this thing right away, and then we can go ahead. Done, everyone? Can we move ahead then?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now you can see a list of clinical features mentioned here. Okay, it says clinical features may number 1, thought and speech disorders, disorders of perception, disorders of affect, disorders of motor behavior, negative symptoms, other features. Okay, now ये जो 7 चीजें हैं, sorry 6 चीजें हैं, these are chapters in themselves. When you go to MPhil or other people also, when you these are units अपने आप में, these are chunks. But because you are doing an entrance, okay, you are not now on the other side of the table, you want to go to the other side of the table, so these has to be taught you in brief. Number 1, that is the reason. Number 2, you are not seeing these kind of clients, so it doesn't make sense when I might go ahead and teach you, like it will take around what, ये separate units है, पहली बात तो ये separate subjects ही अपने आप में समझ लो, there are separate books for each one of them, ठीक है? So with best of our knowledge, we'll teach you stuff which is important for your understanding, for your background, for your base, for building your clinical aptitude, and for the MCQ purpose. Okay? Otherwise, when you are in your MPhil training, when you are there, this is itself a very big chunk to cover. Okay? Okay? थोड़ा सा चलो फिर भी करते हैं. We'll just give you an outline. So thought and speech may number 1 is autistic thinking. You can write down. Have you written the heading thought and speech disorder? ये लिख लिया? Guys, make the heading clinical features may number 1 thought and speech disorders. So give me a heads up, you've written the heading, so I go ahead with inside of what is there in thought and speech.
Ma'am, written all the headings.
Okay. So not just all, we'll just take up one abhi ke liye. Okay. So thought and speech may number 1, it comprises of many things. I'm again repeating. Okay. It's a whole world inside of that unit. But depending on the 2 things I just said right now, why we don't go ahead with it, there is no point. You will make no sense out of it right now. Okay. You have to build the difficulty in hierarchy, right? You cannot flood the student like that. So number 1 is autistic thinking. Now, autistic thinking, okay, here the thinking is governed by private and illogical rules. This kind of thinking makes no generic sense, okay? So you cannot generalize the conclusions from this kind of thinking. This kind of thinking is governed by private and illogical rules. Thinking governed by illogical rules again is, that kind of a thinking. I give an example, no, streets में झाड़ू लग रहा है तो मेरे लिए लग रहा है, that kind of thing. ठीक है? So it is very private and very illogical. Generalizations cannot be made from such a kind of a thinking. Then comes number 2 in thought and speech. We are still doing thought and speech, okay? So I'll let you know when I change the major topic. So thought and speech, my number 2 is loosening of association. Loosening of association. So loosening of association, we've just discussed it thoda pehle. Any one of you remembers? थोड़ा सा कुछ भी याद है किसी को? अभी थोड़ी पहले we did loosening of association. Okay, so this loosening of association refers, I'm just repeating, it refers to the point we can interpret it from the person's speech. That means there is no connection between whatever they have been talking, okay, and these connections, if any connections are there, they are by chance. Okay, they might shift from topic to topic without any sense. They might shift one subtract niche, they might come down one topic niche and not reach the topic, they might just revolve around the topic. So these kind of things, okay, that is loosening of association. Yes, you can say, Simran, word salad might fall into this. Okay, word salad might fall into this. Then comes thought blocking isme. So we've just done that also. Okay, thought blocking. Okay, neologisms. Okay, anyone knows what are neologisms? You might have heard about it.
Ma'am, creating new words.
Exactly, creating new words for already existing words. Okay, so creating new things for already existing words. Suppose they create a new term for phone. Okay, like that, they create a new thing for already an existing thing, they start using a new term. Okay, so ye ho gaya. Again, thought and speech, it includes it is loosening of associations, Anjali, the same thing. Okay, so thought and speech, it also includes delusions here. Okay, it also includes delusion. So now delusions are what, guys? They are false unshakable belief, which are not in keeping with the person's socio-cultural and educational background. False unshakable belief which are not in keeping with the person's socio-cultural and educational background. So delusions are belief which are firm in nature. Okay, so anything which is not firm, anything which can be shaked, okay, anything which doesn't fulfill the vectors of delusion is not a delusion. Okay, anything which you can shake during the MSc and bring the idea down is not a delusion, it is at the idea level. The delusion has to fulfill certain criteria. Delusion is divided majorly into primary and secondary delusions. Okay, delusion is divided majorly into primary and secondary delusions. Primary delusions and secondary delusions. So primary delusions are usually seen in the early phases of schizophrenia. Okay, so examples could be delusion of grandiosity and all, which are built through those processes I said, through those illogical thinking where they said, the streets are being cleaned because of me. So based on delusion of grandiosity, where they have very inflated self-esteem, बहुत बढ़ जाता है, self-esteem बहुत high हो जाता है. So based on that, they can have delusions of persecution. Now that I'm very famous and rich, probably people are plotting to kill me. So these become secondary delusion. पहला delusion of grandiosity था, उस पे बेस की हुई चीजें become delusion of like delusion of persecution. These become the secondary delusions. Okay. So ये तो हो गया primary and secondary. Otherwise we see delusions क्या होते हैं? Delusion of persecution, grandiosity, okay, delusion of infidelity, delusion of control, somatic delusion, somebody's trying to control my body, and all those kind of things. Okay, so we have, you know, so if you come back to the slide, we just did some keywords, a few keywords from thought and speech disorders. When we come to disorders of perception, number 2, we will majorly do hallucinations here. Okay, now hallucinations are different from delusions, guys. Delusions fall under thought and thought disorders. Hallucination falls under disorder of perception. Okay, make this very clear. Delusions fall under thought disorder. Hallucinations fall under disorders of perception. Now hallucinations are false perception which occur when there is no stimulus. Okay, illusion क्या होता है? Misinterpretation of the stimulus. Illusion क्या है? Illusion है misinterpretation of the stimulus. Misinterpretation of the stimulus. But hallucination is false perception which is there, which is the subjective reality without presence of any stimulus. Okay. So likewise, disorder of affect, disorders of motor behavior, negative symptoms, other features, etc. Okay. We also go about discussing later when we do this, we also go about discussing the theory of mind impairment and schizophrenia and all, which is also seen in autism spectrum. ये सारे questions they prepare you for your MCQs and for your Viva, for your interviews, both your NET and MPhil. Okay? So otherwise you can go on and on, but I like to wind it up here and take on questions from here, whatever questions you have. Okay. तो आप माइक ऑन करके अपना क्वेश्चंस 1 by 1 पोस्ट भी कर सकते हैं, पूछ भी सकते हैं. Yes, so you guys can ask your questions, anything from the way we'll teach, from the way things will be, anything to any other thing, you know, which requires clarification. Also, you can visit the website or you can ask me right here as well. Yeah, I'm assuming you guys will be having a lot of questions. Okay. How many classes a week? What is the duration? What is the course material? You get the recording. How do you get it? Classes are being recorded, everything. So you'll have minimum of 4 to 5 classes per week. 5 to ho hi jata hai. 2 hours. Each class is for 2 hours. Okay. Each class is for 2 hours. And this is a 6 months duration you get. Also, will prepare you later also 6 months, as in the classes and all you can attend for 6 months. Later interview preparation and all that, so that goes on. Because हो सकता है कभी इंटरव्यू बाद में हो 6 महीने के बाद, like 6th month you appeared a entrance and you cleared, and 7th month you have the interview, so you can always contact us back. ऐसा नहीं. Okay, any other query? So a CIP entrance itself is also there, right there, I guess. in this typical month. Okay, February में ही होता है. So anything you guys want to ask? All clear, guys? You understood everything fine? You understood how we work, how we function? Okay, so you get live recordings, you get classes also. Okay, you get mock test also, you get resource link. कुछ पूछना है तो बताओ. What will the practical they say entail? So practical, Eliana, is just you need to identify. They will probably display some of the test. Okay, so are you typically asking about CIP? Is what is there in your mind? So if you're typically asking about CIP, they will just display some of the test. Okay, some of the test as in they will just MISIC हो गया, ऐसा कुछ हो गया. You will just have to identify that this is MISIC, these are TAT cards, these are TAT Uma Chaudhary cards, Indian version cards, these are Rorschach. Okay, so probably they'll ask you if you have administered and what have you done in your internship. You might say I've just I've administered these under supervision. Make sure you mention that you have done things under supervision because you're still not licensed and qualified. Okay, don't say you have done things outrightly. Say that you mentioned done things under supervision. And when they ask you, जो भी टेस्ट आप बोलोगे आप उसके बारे में जानते हो तो ही बोलोगे. ठीक है. अब इंटेलिजेंस टेस्ट है तो उसका परफॉर्मेंस इन वर्बल वो अलग पूछा जाएगा, नॉर्म्स पूछे जाएंगे, एज रेंज, whether it is suitable for the Indian population, okay, any updated version of it. So these kind of questions they occupy in the practical part. Okay, yeah, we prepare the students once they get enrolled with us. So suppose there's a batch going on. Okay, अब उसमें से somebody cleared one of the entrance. So I will take a practical class for them, an interview class for them, and rest of you can join. So in the whole tenure of 6 months, you can attend all the interview preparation classes. And when you qualify, you can also ask for a separate class. Okay, so n number of preparation classes. So interview procedure is very simple as the other processes. Okay, probably if you give the entrance today, they'll give you the result in a day or 2 times, and then uske baad they'll give you 2 days. So interview ka date and all they will not tell you. It depends. It's a little tentative. Okay, like slightly shaky. So probably agar aaj hai, if you ended up the entrance today, and they'll give you the result by tomorrow or day after. So then they'll again give you 2 days to prepare. Okay, so you have to keep that 1 week occupied for CIP. 1 week, 4 to 5 days occupied rakhna padega. Admission is simple. You can go back home. Okay, 15-20 days or 2 weeks ke baad they'll give you the result and they'll give you the slot for admission. So you need to go get your admission done that time. You don't have to wait there after the entrance. Why would they ask about references we have referred? Would they ask references as in textbooks you are asking, Dilnawaz?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they will ask you definitely. And one thing I've mentioned in all my webinars and other things also, that when you refer a textbook, please know the 4 authors. Now Carlson, Boucher, Minica and Hulley. ठीक है, Morgan and King के बाद 2 और लोग हैं. पूरे 4 ऑथर्स 5 ऑथर्स के बारे में बताएं, कौन सा एडिशन पढ़ रहे हैं ये बताएं, क्या किंडल एडिशन पढ़ रहे हैं, हार्ड कॉपी पढ़ रहे हैं, क्या है पब्लिशिंग एंड ऑल. यू शुड नो एवरीथिंग.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
ठीक है. So ऐसा नहीं है, whichever point you join the coaching interview, वो you get everything. Probably you get more. Okay, number of classes ज़्यादा ही होंगे, कम कभी नहीं होंगे.
Ma'am, ma'am, if we have joined like distance learning course from the UIBS,
It's all
so
distance learning. Like earlier we were functioning simultaneously. जो क्लास अभी मैं आपके साथ ले रही हूँ, पहले होता था I would be at the institution and मेरे सामने भी बच्चे होते थे, simultaneously आप भी होते थे online. अभी it's majorly distance. ठीक है, अभी we haven't restarted that ways. Okay.
ओके
हाँ
मैम.
हाँ
सो मैम लाइक उस केस में भी मतलब वो इंटरव्यू प्रैक्टिकल का हो जाएगा
हाँ
प्रिपरेशन?
आराम से आराम से. That time we'll switch on the video cameras and show you all the tests we have at the institution. So I have to go, like not you all. I have to go. I'll display. We have done that. ऐसा नहीं, like pre-COVID also we were functioning online में बहुत ज़्यादा.
ओके मैम.
ठीक है, ये तो कोविड सिचुएशन है, इम्प्रूविंग है, वो अलग चीज है, बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, ठीक है.
ओके मैम.
इट्स वेरी कन्वीनियंट, लाइक वेरी कन्वीनियंट फ्रॉम माय साइड बिकॉज इट्स बीन 3 years, मोर देन 3 years टू मी. ठीक है. हाँ, तो मुझे ऐसा इशू नहीं है. लाइक यू हैव टू फील कंफर्टेबल एंड यू हैव टू अडॉप्ट टू दिस काइंड ऑफ टीचिंग लर्निंग. ठीक है.
ओके मैम.
हाँ. Anything else, बच्चों? Like you don't come up with queries, otherwise, so ma'am, we don't need to go back physically for the admission. We have to go back, Maryada, physically for the admission. Yes, you have to go back. No one else can go get your admission done in your place. You have to go sign there at appropriate places where you're supposed to sign. Okay? पहले 4-5 दिन रुकोगे, ठीक है, सब सही रहा, you get qualified, you appear the interview, go back, chill, wait for the results. Okay, and then when you get selected, you go back and you go yourself. That happens. Okay, I did that. I went myself for the entrances also. I went myself also for the admission. So वो हो गई. I came back the same day. I took a flight back the same day. So it's a very convenient process. Take all the papers, keep everything handy. Okay. My work was done in what, half an hour or 30-40 minutes. I took a flight back the same evening. Riti Mukta, you can talk to the admin about that. Of course you will. ऐसा नहीं है, no one gets denied anything. ठीक है, packages are made for everyone's convenience, but yes, you can talk to the admin about it. Okay, you can refer website में काफी सारे numbers हैं. You can talk. Do you want me to give you any of the numbers where you want to clarify this doubt? ठीक है, yeah, you can always ask for it. ऐसा कुछ I haven't heard where we have denied anyone anything in the institution. ठीक है, starting from any clinical to every clinical service and any academic to every academic service we offer. ठीक है, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, सब कुछ accommodate हो जाता है. If you clear more than you, we will be happy if you clear it under our guidance. So we make sure you do it, not you. Okay, anyone else, guys? We still have a lot of time. Ask me questions. You guys are preparing on your own. Anything you might want to ask, no? Not just typically that you have to study under me to ask me questions. You can just ask me questions. Yeah, somebody's mic is on. Do you want to ask something?
Yes, ma'am. I am preparing for CIP entrance right now. So I don't have time to this online classes and all. So I have enrolled for this recorded lectures. It is okay after this entrance, I can join this online classes.
हाँ, you can join. Any point of time you want, you can join.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
ठीक है, वो उसकी टेंशन मत लो, पीछे का सारा कवर हो जाता है.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. And what about this key? If I need any help for interview, can I call you for this?
You can call on the mentioned number.
Okay, yes, ma'am, sure.
There's a number mentioned in the chat box right now.
Yeah.
So make sure you call there and then you can get yourself like enroll for whatever classes you want. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So you can see on the screen, you can take a screenshot of that, keep that. When is the CIP entrance? What is the date exactly? Because I've been getting a lot of queries for that.
Ma'am, it's on 21st February.
Okay. 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 Otherwise also you guys can get connected with me, not an issue. Okay. But yeah, prepare well everyone. Okay. Basics, keep your basics clear, read the question properly, and you will not get much time. It's 1 hour versus 100 questions or 90 questions. Mine was 160 minutes versus 100 questions. Okay. So last ka 3-4 questions. I remember I just read half and happened to just match it somehow. Okay, I just read and I knew this is the answer, so I could just quickly match it. Okay, so time factor का भी ध्यान रखो, panic नहीं करना है, nothing is the end of the world. Okay, it's just an entrance and not your whole life deciding thing. So just calmly go there. Okay, you're not going to lose anything even if you cannot do it. Okay, so just be very calm when you're going there. Sleep properly, guys. Please do that. Don't make that mistake of not sleeping. I've always slept well before exams. Okay, and that has turned out to be good for me. There's no negative marking in CIP. Stats related may go rather for basic research questions first. Okay, stats may what you can do. You can just find out different simple degree of freedoms. ठीक है, रो -1 कॉलम -1 हो गया, किसी में n-1 हो गया, किसी में ANOVA है तो what how you supposed to find out degree of freedom and all. Look for that things. Okay, simple formulas, not much. And if there are 3 groups, what will you apply? If there are 2 groups, what do you do? Okay, what? So basically for stats, I'll suggest you go for KS Mangal. There's a textbook KS Mangal. There are a lot of criteria mentioned when and why you go for ANOVA, when and why you go for T-test and all. So those things are enough and basics of research. Okay? You don't have to be a core statistician, that person to clear entrances. You can do it with basic knowledge also. Yeah, Shraddha, you have any doubts? You can ask that now, and no problem if you got disconnected. You can ask them now. Yeah, Shraddha, you can ask them now. I said no problem. So classes take place around minimum of 5 days a week, which includes both your general psychology, all the subjects. Okay? And there is a mock test, quiz test class also every Sunday. And the classes are for 2 hours, like each class is for 2 hours. Classes are recorded. As you can see, this class is also getting recorded simultaneously. So in case you miss a class or you want to go back and learn the topic again, make your own notes, you can always go refer to the recording. Okay? Then you get latest resource material, okay, which is either posted to you or you want a soft copy. That depends on you. You want a hard copy, you can go for that. You get an access to the WhatsApp group. You get an access to the resource book link where everything is updated, whatever I read, whatever other faculties read, whatever. See, I teach you from research articles majorly because that is one motivating factor where I get to read a lot. So when I read, I also update it. Others also do the same thing. ठीक है? Classes usually second half में ही होते हैं from 4 to 6 or 5 to 7. ठीक है, यही typical duration है. Sundays में कभी थोड़ा जल्दी हो जाता है तो हो जाता है. And any changes, if it is there, it's posted in the group. ठीक है? And this is the latest discount they get. Okay, so there's a latest offer going on. एक 20% discount तो already है, but I guess what I was informed is if you book it until tomorrow, so you get 30% discount, which is 20 plus 10. 20 is an ongoing discount due to COVID, and then a 10% additional if you book until tomorrow. Okay. So if you can see my screen, just take a screenshot of it for you. You can decide later accordingly. And कोई भी query है, please website के दिए हुए numbers पे call करें, query पूछें, ठीक है? You want something, you don't want something, whatever your doubts are, okay? You might just don't hesitate, post it there. Talk to the people concerned in the admin, they will definitely solve it for you, okay? Yeah, please phone number दोबारा दे दें chat box में. You can see here phone number है. Okay, and we are a team of clinical psychologists who are net qualified, JRF, everything we have. Okay, so we are a diverse team. Okay, so usme koi problem nahi hai. You get all sorts of help, whatever you require. So as I said, anything you name in the academic and clinical front, we provide. You just have to, let us know what you require before time. Before time, of course. ठीक है? Yeah. और कुछ किसी को कोई और डाउट है?
Yes, ma'am. This is Ishfaq here.
हाँ जी, पूछिए.
How much time is actually required to prepare well for the MPhil clinical psychology entrance? Suppose I start today, will it be level-headed to appear in an entrance starting in March or ending Feb?
So it depends on a lot of things. Are you working currently? Are you devoting time elsewhere? Okay, so depends. And then what is the level where how much are your background concepts clear?
Yeah.
वो चीजें सब कुछ मैटर करता है, ठीक है? So if you totally devote, okay, totally give a lot of time and energy, and collect resources, start collecting resources from today itself, and you make your plan and everything. Devote 2.5-3 months rigorously.
Thank you so much.
Okay, but if you are working and also doing other things and you want to take it a little slow, then I'll say plus minus 6 months, plus minus 4-5 months. ठीक है? 6 months का आप जो पे करते हैं वो 6 months का हम इसीलिए भी रखते हैं that there are multiple entrances coming up. You might want to wait for a good institute, and then you might want to relearn the topics and all. So this fees is valid. The thing you pay is valid for a 6-month cycle.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So can I wind up, guys, if it's fine then? You guys don't seem to have any more queries? Okay. Chalo then. Thank you, guys, okay? So you guys got the contacts and the phone numbers of the admin. You can contact there and let us know anything else what you require. Okay? And be updated with our website. We on and off keep on conducting free webinars also. We invite other faculties also. We keep on doing that. Okay? So you will gain a lot from if you just stay updated there.